I accidentally discovered the person I had a secret crush on 5 years ago showed up at the class reunion. The moment I saw him, familiar memories kept flashing through my mind. Back in college, we once pretended to be a couple for a while. Even though it was just acting, I secretly liked him the whole time. One day I finally gathered the courage to confess my feelings, but he mocked me in front of everyone. His friends even joined in, saying the only one worthy of him was his beloved first love. That moment broke my heart. After that, he left me alone in the freezing snow. In the blink of an eye, 5 years passed. I graduated from school. One day, my best friend dragged me to a class reunion. On the way, I was nearly hit by a car. The driver got out and asked if I was okay, then told me to move if I was fine. I quickly left unaware that inside the car was the same man I had a crush on 5 years ago. When I arrived at the banquet, I overheard people talking, saying he had also been invited, but everyone thought he was already living abroad and wouldn't show up. Yet the next second he actually walked in. I panicked all over again. Now he was a billionaire CEO. Everyone raised their glasses to flatter him. Only I sat quietly in the corner, thinking about how to leave with dignity. But just as I stood up, he raised his glass to me and smiled, saying, "Long time no see." My heart trembled, but I couldn't understand how he could greet me so calmly after hurting me like that. I forced myself to stay composed and made up an excuse to leave early. But as soon as I stepped outside, he followed me out and offered to drive me home. I refused immediately, then walked away without looking back. What I didn't know was that he had returned to the country just to win me back. The next day at work, my boss told me there was a big project up for bidding. When I saw the client's name, I froze completely. Remembering how he hurt me 5 years ago, I didn't want to have anything to do with him. It was his company. I immediately said I wanted to drop out. But my boss said if the deal succeeded, our year-end bonus would double. Thinking of my grandma still in the hospital, I had no choice but to stay. I thought he wouldn't show up in person, but on the day of the meeting, he came. The moment I saw him again, all the bitterness in my heart returned. As the meeting began, my boss got a call and left me alone to continue. I took a deep breath, pretended to be calm, and presented the proposal. I thought he would reject us, but to my surprise, he agreed right away and said he wanted long-term cooperation with me. I felt uneasy and warned him the decision was too rushed, suggested he consider other options. He immediately changed his expression and scolded me harshly, saying it was his company's decision, and I had no right to question it. In that instant, I felt like I was back in that winter 5 years ago when he hurt me so deeply. I quickly apologized. He realized he was too harsh and wanted to make it right, but just then, my boss returned. Noticing the tension, he asked what had happened, but instead of explaining, he praised me and told his assistant to follow up on the contract. My boss was very pleased, complimented me, then rushed off to visit a family member in the hospital and told me to take a taxi home. When I stepped outside, it had started raining heavily. I couldn't get a cab, and just when I was helpless, he appeared and offered me a ride. Before I could refuse, he threatened me, saying if I didn't accept, he'd make me stand there as a mascot for everyone to see, to avoid any misunderstanding with coworkers. I reluctantly agreed. He tried to ease the tension, but I ignored him. As soon as we got to my place, I got out of the car quickly. When I saw his car drive away, I turned and walked back into the neighborhood.